One natural disaster could change your life forever. What can you do? Turn to AARP. We help older adults and their families prepare, respond, and recover with evacuation checklists to help you remember prescriptions and other essentials, information to help you avoid scammers, connections to on-the-ground emergency responders, and lots of other tips and tools. At AARP, we're here to help. Find us at aarp.org/local.
Time, weather, and
Highways. How you doing, everybody? I'm Chief Meteorologist Denis Phillips. Heat's still the hot topic of weather conversation, right? Just smashed the previous record for rainfall in Tampa. Still a very nice day. We've got some clouds out there, even a couple of sprinkles as another front rolls through the area. Most of us wake up to sunshine and then very warm temperatures in the afternoon. For temperatures, they're going up and they're staying up. Really nice forecast, especially if you're planning on going to the beach or the pool. Rain chances very slim. It's another beautiful day in store. It's going to bring us a very high chance of storms. Isolated showers across the area. Mother Nature likes to remind us that it isn't set by a calendar. We're always on it for you, just in case things begin to pop.
Streaming from the ABC Action Weather Center in Studio A, this is Denis Phillips Live, sponsored by AARP Tampa Bay.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? ABC Action News Chief Meteorologist Denis Phillips. I'm texting people while getting this stuff ready. I'm actually texting a buddy of mine who was asking me if Francis, who's on this chat, he might very well even be here, but was asking me if we were going to be in the Palm Harbor Christmas Parade like we were last year with the Little League. And I just checked, and I didn't really know. I guess the person who did the registration last year isn't with the Little League anymore. And I'm like, I didn't know how much it was. It may be too expensive. And he goes, no, I think it's $20. I'm like, oh, all right, then we're going to do it. So that's coming up in December because we are now in the holiday season. I mean, my 12-foot skeleton is still up. The Inferno and the Witch are still up, but everything else is taken down. I got that done on November 1. And now, as you may have seen on Facebook and other social media platforms, Mariah Carey has indeed been thawed out of the block of ice. Although I have yet to hear it because I haven't been listening to any holiday radio stuff on XM or Sirius yet. I still listen to my fantasy football stuff, but it's there. And today I did some checks with my speakers. So the time that I have been longing for has arrived. So thanks for stopping by. You know, normally during hurricane season when we get a storm around, we get 11 billion people on this feed and a lot of people asking questions. And it's our hope that we're providing some useful information for you. And what we hear more than anything, I think, from a lot of folks talking about our team is, look, what our goal is to ease your stress level. And we get a lot of people here and we don't have an opportunity to do just some chit chat, which I miss because for me, that's kind of the joy of this platform. We started doing our live feed way before Facebook ever did. We've been doing this for well over a decade, and we've been on different platforms, and a lot of us have developed friendships, relationships in the virtual world and in real life as well. And I know there are some like Team Suspenders pages and whatnot where people really look out after each other, which I think is just absolutely awesome. So my point is we get to do some hellos, which we haven't had nearly as much time lately because the tropics kept us busy. Ryan is usually one of the first, if not the first, and Ryan is also a Christmas fanatic, as am I. So Ryan, how goes it? We have got Nelsa. How are you doing? Good to see you. We also have Nikea. We've got Tony. No, what's going on with you, Tony? What is up with you? We've got Emily. Emily Snuggle Buddy. Emily is all about Snuggle Alerts, as is Keisha. Keisha and her husband have a very unique relationship because he loves to tag her and let her know that there's a Snuggle Alert, and she then messages me and is like, Denis, enough with the Snuggle Alerts, all right? I need some space. So there's a dynamic going on there. We've got Ann, how are you doing? Linda, good to see you. Newport Richie's in the house with Carrie. Carol, How are you? Nice to see you. Annette and Kathleen in Bradenton. Sun City's in the house with Barbara. Dave, good to see you. We have got Alicia. Always good to see you, Alicia. Alicia's sister, Patty Sue, passed away many, many years ago. But Patty Sue was a really big and loyal fan of Wendy and myself. Lynn in Spring Hill. Rita Rue. How you doing, Rita? Prudy, how are you? And are you going to stop by the house again with your lovely daughter for the Christmas display? I hope so. I have to talk about that in a second. I need your opinion on stuff, people. Tammy in Seminole. Arlene in Tampa. Ruskin's in the house with Terry. Abby, good to see you. Courtney in Riverview would love some rain. Boy, you and me both, Courtney. The drought index, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, has gotten worse, unfortunately, as you would expect. We've had no rain, so there's got to be worse drought conditions. Trey in St. Pete, Lake Wales with Denise. Lelman's in the house with Mary. Lisa liking the colder weather. New Tampa, or new to, wait a minute, I'm confused. New to the site, hi from Tampa. Oh, site as an S-I-G-H-T. Got it. Thank you, Michelle, very kind. Thanks for stopping by. We are here most Tuesdays and Thursday nights and pretty much all the time when there's a storm around. Ms. Mama Rivera, how you doing? We've got Estelle in Palm Harbor. Barbara wants to know if there's some, if you can get some covered coffee mugs in the merchandise. Covered. You know what? I will check. I will check with the powers that be and see if they offer, because there's covers for the wine tumblers, which can be used as coffee, but not the actual mug. So I don't know. It's a good question. Kimberly, good to see you. Amanda, baby shower on the 11th. What's it looking like? Ooh, could be cold. Could be cold on the 11th. So that is something to look forward to, possibly, Amanda. Clearwater's in the house with Mary Ann, Newport Richie Sue. So I did, Ryan. Yes, I did. I did put the old school clock back logo thing, the rebel that I can be. Denise in Odessa, how are you? So we got lots of folks here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll be answering some questions as we go, because fortunately there's not a lot going on in terms of the overall level of weather locally. Unfortunately, as you can see here, Jamia, how are you? Good to see you. Carol in Newport Richie. So again, lots and lots of folks here. Let's jump on in because we do have enough. Oh, we've got Lisa, your Pomeranian loves Snuggle Alerts. So, and I see Lisa's palm in her picture right there. So I actually see Lisa and her palm right there. Pinellas Park, Tay-Tay. By the way, my daughter, Ryan, who you guys may have seen on Halloween, made a pumpkin that said Swifty on it. She got more compliments on that Swifty, and thus the Tay-Tay. More compliments on that Swifty pumpkin than I think anything else that we got there. So, first of all, we will not be needing heavy attire tomorrow morning. Light jacket, hoodie. By the way, I broke out my Rays hoodie. You know, I normally have been wearing my roll number 7 and my DPL hoodies for DPL. But in honor of the Texas Rangers' victory of the World Series yesterday and the fact that they swept the Rays and swept the Orioles and did a number, that team was 11-0 on the road in the playoffs. I mean, that is some serious baseball being played. You always think that it's tougher to win on the road. The Rangers proved that wrong this year in the playoffs. Paula and Arcadia, Winter Haven's here with Cynthia. So Town and Country, MJ's loving it as well. Loving it in Tarpon Springs, Cynthia. So Chris asked the big question, will El Nino be bringing us rain in the winter months? Survey says yes. Now, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and show you that graphic, which some of you, I'm sure, have seen it before. But since you asked, thank you, Barbara. They did play great in fall ball. They actually won their first tournament game last night, and they have another tournament game tomorrow. Last night was a very hard-fought victory over Countryside, I believe. As usual, I always miss this stuff because I'm at work. As much as I love my job, and you guys know that I do, I love what I do, the one thing that I certainly miss is I pretty much miss every game and every recital and everything that goes on in the evenings because I'm at work. And, you know, that's just, we all have our responsibilities that we have to do. And that one with me, At some point on my deathbed, I wonder if I will look back and regret decisions that I made in terms of missing a lot of this stuff for the kids, but we all do it, right? I mean, that's what we do. So anyway, there's a look at El Nino, as we were talking about. Warm water off the coast of South America, clearly. By the way, next weekend, Kelson, could very well be looking rather chilly, and we will be showing Sean where the 540 line is, the freezing line, much closer than you may imagine. Wow, Lance is from Toronto with a Go Leafs. You don't see that too often. So there's a look at the warm water off the coast of South America. And in the wintertime, well, in the winter and in the summer, it has a dramatic impact on the upper level winds, all right? And those upper level winds can act to intensify the storm tracks, the subtropical jet. And this is typically what you see in the wintertime during an El Nino, which we still have. Francis, there he is. I knew you would be around somewhere. I was just talking about you, saying that the parade was only $20 entry fee. I was thinking it was hundreds of dollars. I'm like, well, I don't know, but if it's only $20, then I got to sign up. You got to tell me where to do it. So there's a look at the storm track. You know, we have two jet streams that are very active in the wintertime, or in the summer for that matter. Usually for us, it's two in the winter. The blue one, as you see up north, that would be known as the polar jet. The subtropical one, nicknamed the Pineapple Express, is known as the subtropical jet. So when the subtropical jet is more active, it gives us a much wetter, rainy, our winter season, but at the same time, it also can lead, as we had a couple of weeks ago, to rougher storms when fronts come through or as low pressure develop. But when I say rougher, I mean a greater risk of severe weather, and translated, severe thunderstorms or tornadoes, which is what we had a few weeks ago. So I kind of think that is a precursor to what will be a pretty active winter weather pattern with rainier than normal winter. And boy, we certainly need it because, as I was saying, when you look at the new drought numbers, wait a minute, Bridget is on the naughty list? Bridget, you are not on the naughty list. Why do you say that? Or are there things that you have not told the group that you are naughty that we do not know about? Which that certainly could be a possibility. But I have not seen you on the naughty list. And there is a look at the new drought numbers. Now, unfortunately, if you're looking in Pinellas County, the extreme drought now includes from around Dunedin southward, western Manatee and Sarasota. So the other areas are about the same, but Pinellas now is, Kim, it is not a new sweatshirt. As a matter of fact, this is my old school sweatshirt that I wore for about 2 years. But if you missed the beginning of the show, I broke out the Rays sweatshirt in honor of the Texas Rangers' victory over the Rays, and the Rays still with a wonderful season, albeit floundering miserably in the playoffs to the Rangers. But you know what? So did every other team that they played, except for Houston. Houston had a chance to beat them, and they couldn't seal the deal. But the Orioles, they swept. The Rays, they swept. And again, on the road, no less. And then Arizona, they took 4 out of 5. I'll tell you, Arizona had a chance to go up 2-0. They lost the first game because their closer just could not get it done. And they gave that game away in the 9th inning. But honestly, the Rangers were playing the best ball. So Estelle is saying, always a little naughty, but nice. All right, Estelle. And I did not see if Bridget responded because I missed so many of the comments because they come by so quickly. But as you see, the drought situation is not getting any better, and it will not be getting any better for at least the next 10 days. So you notice that the extreme drought now includes the southern 2/3 of Pinellas County. There's a look at radar. All's quiet. This is going to be really reminiscent of what we had a couple of weeks ago when we had an easterly wind, very breezy for about 3 to 4 days before the winds began to subside a little bit. So right now, temperatures in the low to mid-70s along the coast. Largo 75, Tampa 75, Mayaca City 74, Palm Harbor 73, Crystal River, Brooksville in the lower 70s. And the winds continue to gust. In the last few hours, winds have been gusting between 20 and 35 miles an hour. You know what, Deb, I will tell you, Wendy Ryan, who we all know and love, was bashing the Golden Bachelor for a while. She wasn't really that into it, but she's come around. I think at first she was a little overwhelmed with everything, but now she has come around, and I've not seen any of it. I've seen the commercials for it, but many, many people are embracing the Golden Bachelor. So I don't know, is it over? Is it ending tonight? You tell me. I don't know. But, but for a while, Wendy was not down with the Golden Bachelor, but apparently she did come around. All right, so here's a look at wind gusts, 20 to 30 miles an hour. So this morning, we started mid-40s from Crystal River, Inverness, Brooksville, 48, Zephyr Hills, 46. So pretty much I-4 northward, it was pretty chilly. I mean, we were 11 degrees below average in Tampa at 53 degrees. Clearwater, 52. So I'm guessing this morning, some folks opened up the door and said nope and turned right around and added another layer. And how many of you guys used seat warmers in your car this morning? That is, okay, so Deb is saying he meets the families tonight, getting close to the end. Okay, I will be watching football. Just telling you flat out, I will be watching the Titans and the Steelers. But I appreciate your loyalty to our ABC programming. That's all I got to say. I will be watching on Amazon Prime. I will be watching the football game. So there's a look at this morning. And then this afternoon, we warmed right back up into the upper 70s to lower 80s. So we were 11 degrees below average this morning. We were only 1 degree below average this afternoon. And Tony did use the seat warmers. Emily, the morning was t-shirt weather. Wow. So Emily likes it cold. Emily likes it cold. Craig used the seat warmer. I'm sorry, Kim used the seat warmer. So, yeah, it was chilly. Karen's like, go Steelers. So after the wind settles, can we put our Christmas decorations up? You know what? I say you can put your Christmas decorations up right now. As I said, I have been starting. Now, I don't light mine until our neighborhood does an official debut, and it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving, but it takes me a few weeks to put up my decorations because I'm just not as quick as I used to be, and I used to have all the kids help, but now the kids conveniently have other plans, like my son Josh, who's great at putting the roof lights up, and because I am Clark Griswold, and it is not just on the fringe, it's the covering the roof. And Josh, he's up at FSU, so he'll be coming home probably for a couple of days before Thanksgiving. And then FSU plays UF, so I don't know if they're going to go to that game. So we got to manage all of the stuff. Now, I will be honest, funny story. So I bought this giant 9-foot ornament from from Home Depot. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I need it. It's really expensive. And the house is full. I've already expanded to my neighbor's yards anyway. So I'm like, now I'll bring it back. So I did the fiscal responsible thing, and I brought it back. And then as I was digging through my my garage yesterday, putting away Halloween stuff, I realized I already bought another one. So I actually bought 2 and didn't even realize it. So because I bought one online, I guess, and had it delivered months ago and totally forgot about it. And it was hidden somewhere in my Christmas mess in the garage. So I guess I'm going to have it anyway because I bought 2 of them for some ridiculous reason. So anyway, very kind. Who was that? Ellen. Thank you very much for the star donations. Again, all the proceeds go for the Children's Miracle Network. And here's the thing. All right, so again, we'll talk about this in a second. But you guys typically know the 2nd and 3rd week of December, on that Saturday night, we do our hot chocolate fundraiser. The kids have done it for years. They donated to Children's Miracle Network because it coincided with their dance marathon activities at FSU and UF. And it was nice because the donations would be matched by other places. So we would kind of do it when they would offer a matching period, so it got even more bang for the buck. And the hot chocolate and the popcorn and my neighbors got involved, and it was always a really, really fun thing. But it's turned into a rather large thing now, to the extent that I have to hire out the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office on those nights, and that's about $400. And then I do it a couple of nights, and then you're at $800. And then the hot chocolate, and yesterday I bought 1,000 mugs. So the point is, it kind of adds up. So we're debating whether or not we might just do it on one night as opposed to 2 nights. So it would be half as much for the sheriff's office. And they're really helpful because honestly, without the police out there, it would be impossible because the traffic is insanity. Now, granted, the traffic in my neighborhood is insane anyway now that the cat is out of the bag, the genie is out of the bottle, the toothpaste is out of the tube. All those things are the case because, simply put, when I go on TV and invite, hey, come on over and see these lights in this neighborhood, I never dreamed that a lot of the Bay Area would come over and watch the lights because they're awesome and they make me feel so happy. And I know our neighbors feel the same way. That's why they do it. But I am wondering if 2 nights is more than we can handle. I haven't decided yet, but it will be the second and third weekend. It'll either be the second or the third or both. And a lot of times on Christmas Eve, we go out and put some hot chocolate out there. We don't go to cars. A lot of people walk it anyway, so then they can just come up and chat and have some hot chocolate. And if they want to make a donation, great, no big deal. But I love that too. And then Mrs. Claus comes out, horse-drawn carriages. There's flatbed. There's front loaders with flatbeds driving the Jolly Trolley. People rent out the Jolly Trolley and drive through the neighborhood privately for the Christmas lights and carols. It is just awesome. You guys know it is my favorite time of the year. But I just sometimes wonder if it is a little bit much to have 2 nights as opposed to 1. Dunedin Tiki Tours is making the tours to your neighborhood now. Yeah, they did that last year. I remember that. I saw the tikis. So it is. It is a neighborhood that I believe is one of the best in Pinellas and one of the best in the Bay Area for Christmas decorations. I would say 80% of the neighbors do it. And it's awesome to see the creativity. And there's so many young families moving in now, and they're involved, and their kids are involved. And I love it. And one of the people who lived in the neighborhood last year, this past year, passed away from cancer. It was 42, and just tragic. And he had an amazing display with all sorts of stuff, fun stuff. And I believe the neighbors are helping them out, putting up the decorations this year. So it is really a community thing. So my point is, second and third week in December, you're going to hear me talking more about it. I haven't decided whether we're going to do both weeks or not, but at least one, because I bought 1,000 cups and 1,000 lids last night at Sam's, and quite a bit of hot chocolate as well. So if you don't come during the weekend on the displays, come during the weekend drive-through because there's a lot less traffic, and it really is worthwhile. So that is something that's going to be going on within the next couple of weeks, although officially it's really starts that Saturday after Thanksgiving. But honestly, most of the neighbors are that following week when they really actually take the time to put all the decorations up, including the Benakis. There's a chiropractor who retired recently, it's the Alien House. And if you've been in the neighborhood, you'll recognize it because when you drive in, it's one of the first houses on the right, and the traffic stacks up a half a mile onto Alderman. I always suggest for people to park outside the neighborhood and walk it. It's way more fun. You can take your time and see all the little decorations there, and it's just a lot more enjoyable and less stressful than sitting in traffic and bumper-to-bumper traffic, which on the weekends it really is. It's a great cause. It's a lot of fun, but park on Omaha, walk it, and you'll just enjoy yourself way more. So anyway, that's coming up. You know me, I had to get into talking about that. But, and again, this is at Indian Trails, Deb. It's in Palm Harbor. You can Google it. And I would say starting like December 1 is usually when things really start to get going. So today we hit upper 70s to low 80s. Outside right now, skies are mostly clear with temperatures in the low 70s. It will be chilly tomorrow morning, just not as chilly as it was this morning, about 10 degrees warmer. You see the easterly flow, right? And that's a few showers over on the East Coast. And through the evening, skies remain partly cloudy to clear. Tomorrow morning, we'll show you temps in a second, but mostly 50s to lower 60s. Maybe a sprinkle eastern Polk or Highlands over the next afternoon or two, but that is it. And otherwise, it is all about the warm temperatures, the sunny skies. Humidity begins to creep up a little bit by later this weekend into early next week. There are your wake-up temperatures, mostly in the 50s to lower 60s. In the afternoon, we warm up into the middle 80s, low to mid 80s. Saturday, mid 60s for lows. So from mid 40s this morning to mid 60s, so 20 degrees warmer in a 48-hour stretch. And then afternoon highs again in the middle 80s. Usually that's December, Devlin. It certainly was sweater weather this morning, Abby. No, we don't do the hot cocoa on the weekdays. It's only on those Saturdays. The second and third Saturdays are the two that we do. My daughter Ryan runs the whole gig. I mean, she owns everything. You know her. And there's a look at Sunday morning, again, upper 60s to low 70s. And from there, all of next week stays warm. But look at next weekend. All right? You see how the numbers start to drop. Well, I'll give you a little inside baseball on this. The models that far out are just simply not going to be very aggressive in terms of the cold with this particular model. However, if we look at the GFS, hashtag cha-ching, for those who know, you know, look at the 540 line next weekend. The 540 line is the freezing line, and it comes into Northern Virginia. The Euro brings it into South Carolina. So this next front, now remember, the Euro has a tendency to be a little overzealous in frontal passage, cold weather, this far out. But at the end of the day, I think it seems relatively likely that we are going to see another cold front, and a pretty significant one, next weekend. Now, will there be rain with that cold front? The answer is probably not much. If you look at the GFS, when this front comes through, you see there it is right there, right? Moving through the deep south. And then it just kind of gets lost. Now, what is something that the GFS likes to do 10, 12 days out? Yes, yet again, the GFS does try to develop another tropical system in the Caribbean and move northeast. And this is on the 15th of November. Well, the last one did develop, but it has certainly shown no signs of moving north, right? Well, go back. How does this go away? There we go. I think I clicked on it. So this is the forecast for next week. Again, Climate Prediction Center, long-range forecast. Yet again, next week, it is showing potential low pressure in the Caribbean. And the following week, it is showing, this is coming up in the week of Thanksgiving, it is showing potential tropical development in the Caribbean. Now, just because it's low pressure doesn't mean it's going to necessarily amount to much, although, as we showed you, the GFS loves to do it, as it did the last go-around. So what does this tell us? All right, this is November the 14th. This is next weekend, right? So, actually, I guess it's the following week. It's the day before the Great American Teach-In. Thanksgiving, too early to tell, Benny. Too early to tell on that cold air. But the Euro and the GFS both kind of show and hint at lowering pressures in the Caribbean, both the week of November 8th to 14th and the week of November 15th to 21st. So this would be indicative of El Nino. As we get into the winter months, we would expect to see a better chance of development. So there you have it. Tropical development, unlikely, but this red hatched area means 20 to 40% possibility of development over the next couple of weeks in the similar area, and an area that needs to be watched. But remember, the more fronts that we get, the less likely that a storm would go north. It would likely go northeast. And that's exactly what the GFS is showing down the road. So here's the moral of the story. Nothing to worry about. The tropics may stay relatively low pressure-ish in the next few weeks, but that doesn't mean that there's any threat for our area. Renee, you know we had a white Christmas on Christmas Day in 1989 in Florida? My first year in Gainesville, first year in Florida, snowed 2 inches on Christmas morning. True story. Shut down I-75. They had ice about an inch thick and 2 inches of snow on top of it. That happened at Christmas morning. Christmas miracles do happen. But for us, we need the rain, and clearly there is no rain in our forecast. There's a look at that area that we've been talking about for 10, 12 days. It did happen. but there's no threat whatsoever in terms of the U.S. In fact, we could use some of the rain. So thanks for watching DPL on our streaming app. We'll go for a couple more minutes on Facebook. Have a good night. Okay, so the streamers are gone, and Anna Maria has her son's birthday party on the 19th, wants to know if it's going to be cold. Well, probably not. I will tell you why. Because if you look at this 540 line digging in to, let me show you, digging into the Carolinas, mid-November, usually that means there's a warm-up shortly thereafter. So if you were to pin me down, I would say we're looking at warm weather through next week, a cold front with about a 3-day cold snap the following Monday, Tuesday, November 12th to the 14th, and then another warm up again from the 15th through the 20th. And then at that point, it's too far out to know what's going on with Thanksgiving. Okay? So, yes, you are safe to decorate because I don't think that tropical stuff is going to come anywhere near us. So I say go for it inside and outside. We're going to get the inside done over the next 10 days, but we're probably going to hold off on the outside until the week of Thanksgiving. And again, light everything on that Saturday with our neighborhood debut. So thank you for stopping by. Now, I normally go a little bit longer, but Wendy, Ryan, and our 11 o'clock crew have some stuff going on that they're going to be working on in the studio. So I'm going to let them take over the studio while I go watch some football. Quickly, I will show you, though, the 7-day. Let's go through the 7-day forecast. Here it is. Tonight, clear, cool, but not as cool as this morning. We drop into the 50s and low 60s. For the boaters, still gusty tomorrow. Northeast winds 20 to 25 knots, choppy on the bay. Water temperature now in the lower 70s. That water's really come down. Remember, you gain an hour's sleep this weekend, so that 7:43 sunrise by Sunday will be 6:43-ish. Great day at the beach on Friday. Sunny skies, highs in the low 80s. Again, the water temperature getting close to too cold for Floridians. And there is the 7-day. You gain your hour's sleep back Saturday night. You're brighter in the morning, you're darker in the afternoon, and all of next week, look for temperatures in the middle 70s. So, as I said, I hear Wendy out there. It is treat night. Treat night usually comes out at 8 o'clock. They have some stuff to do. I will be back on Tuesday night, and we'll let you know more about what our thoughts are for our Christmas decorations, for our fundraisers, and again, by the way, one last thing, I will mention this. We have got a ton of new Christmas stuff up and ready, including Snuggle Alerts on our Etsy page. And again, as you guys know, every single purchase, there's a donation that goes toward the Children's Miracle Network and other local charities. So there's your Snuggle Alerts. You've got Christmas ornaments. You've got lots and lots of other stuff. And this is up, including pet bandanas. And those are all on our family's Rule Number 7 shop page. Great Christmas presents. And they help out local charities as well. You guys have a great night. Thanks for stopping by as always. And we will see you on our next edition of Denis Phillips Live. Night, guys.
One natural disaster could change your life forever. What can you do? Turn to AARP. We help older adults and their families prepare, respond, and recover with evacuation checklists to help you remember prescriptions and other essentials, information to help you avoid scammers, connections to on-the-ground emergency responders, and lots of other tips and tools. At AARP, we're here to help. Find us at aarp.org/local.